Welcome back to MP DeVille Lifestyle. I'm so glad you are continuing the three-part video series on acknowledging, recognizing, or recognizing, acknowledging, and then resolving dysfunctional cycles. Okay, so the first video we talked about verbal abuse, which is one of the very prevalent and more noticeable forms of abuse. I recognized this growing up. I recognized this with my mother. I saw this happening with my sisters, with my aunts, with my grandmother. It was a repeated family dysfunction that went from generation to generation to generation until someone decided to say enough is enough. Okay? Number two was the verbal abuse, something else that was very noticeable in my environment. I knew early on that that was not a form of adoration and love and commitment and respect. It was a form of anger and animosity and resentment. So if you are experiencing any of those two types of dysfunction, you must know it is very unhealthy and you should definitely recognize it and do something about it. Okay? And finally, we are going to discuss something that I went through, something that I recognize every day, and something that I still struggle with because it is so embedded within my subconscious. So I have to make a clear and conscious and daily decision to not let what other people think and say about me affect me. And that's what emotional abuse is. That's what emotional abuse is, or what some may call psychological abuse. And what that entails is a lot of manipulation, a lot of belittling, a lot of unworthiness, a lot of pointing out things about you that people feel about themselves. It's more or less called projection. I would, after my research and understanding it, I feel like people who tell you you're unworthy, people who tell you that you can't do something, people who tell you that no one's going to love you, people who tell you that you'll never be anything in life, I feel like that is a projection of them. And they will only reflect that onto someone else out of their hurt and out of their anger. And that is a bad environment to live in, because the person that's enduring these words of negativity, like I did, it will definitely bring your self-esteem down. It will definitely make you believe that you are unworthy of anything until you can understand what the other person is doing. You will remain in that situation. If you know that you are better, you know that God has bigger plans for you, you know that this is not the relationship you want to settle for, you know this is not healthy, you have to make a conscious decision to understand that this is not right, it is not healthy, it is dysfunctional. And if I don't put a stop to it, my kids are going to think it's okay. My kids are going to endure the same type of dysfunction, and my kids are going to carry it on into their generation. And if they're unable to stop it, it's just going to continue to carry on. So someone has to be the leader of the family, and someone has to recognize these dysfunctions, and someone has to call them out, and someone has to change the trajectory of your family tree, or the dysfunction, the stagnation, the incarceration, the addiction, the teenage pregnancy, the emasculation. All of that is going to remain within your family unit. Okay? So, if you have not read my book, Generational Cycles, you can click on to my bio in my Instagram, and you can find it there, read it. If you feel like any of those traits match you or someone you know, I would completely, wholeheartedly advise you to get the book and read the book and see if those things match you. And if you would like to go further, I have some great information. I have a terrific course that you can purchase at a very discounted price with a free gift if you like. Okay? So I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. and I want you to ignite your life, okay? So until then, I'll see you on the other side. Have a great day.